It's the Keith 1 Million show. We're back. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Yes, sir.
June 19th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone's out and about. And how was your Juneteenth so far?
Oh, man, it was good. I was out here at the Archwood, the Pickle House down here. It's at, I believe that's 12th and Van Buren, around that way. It was an awesome event. Awesome event. Beautiful businesses, lively colors, a lot of history. They had a wing cook-off. You know, you judge. I was one of the judges in the wings. I signed up for that. It was just really a great event. And I advise people to keep checking out this area down here. They have a lot of good events that go on.
Right. And our program director Calvin, he just left. Where did he go again?
He went down to Grassroots.
The Grassroots.
Yeah, Grassroots bookstore.
Mm-hmm. And there's an event going on there.
Yeah.
There's events all over the valley.
All
Juneteenth.
over.
So everybody be safe.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
At all the Juneteenth events.
Mm-hmm.
And this Juneteenth is the NBA Finals as Oklahoma City and Indiana, Game 6.
Yeah.
They're down 22. The Pacers 64, Oklahoma City 42.
Yeah.
In the third quarter, it just started the third quarter. And what is the issue with Oklahoma City in this game? It seems like they just can't get a run together.
They started the game off pretty good, but they just yes, TJ McConnell was killing them. Yeah, he is definitely killing them. And OKC, it was a backcourt steal that TJ McConnell had. It was a lot of bad turnovers.
Offensive rebounds.
Yeah, offensive rebounds. They bad shots. Look, you had to know you wasn't just gonna go right into Indiana and just straight up blow them out and win it. But it seemed like they just gave up when they got down by 10. Like I told you earlier, I miss the days of you know when Michael Jordan would come in Game 6 and just end it, just end it. He would just end it, and it seems like nobody has that. Kobe was the same way. Nobody has that. Like don't get me wrong, TJ McConnell when he was with Philly, I loved him. He's a baller, but there's no way he would get off on those Chicago teams. I mean, Ron Harper be all over him. Rodman be all over him. Scottie Pippen be all over him. I mean, he wouldn't get those little easy shots off. I'm not talking about getting hit hard. He just wouldn't be able to get them off. You know, so I just miss the killer instincts and everything. So it's going to be a game. It's going unless they have a massive comeback. I do not see Indiana collapsing. I do not see them collapsing to OKC in this game, and OKC is going to have to close it out on their home floor.
Yeah, you have Jalen Williams with 16, SGA with 15, and that's it for them.
Yeah.
You got Holmgren with 4, Hartenstein with 4.
Chet just missing easy shots.
At all. Yeah, Chet Holmgren's missing easy shots, dunks.
Yeah.
You know, not hitting his free throws.
Yeah.
For the Pacers, Siakam with 13, Nembhard with 10, Halliburton with 14, Naismith with 9, and Obi Toppin with 8 off the bench, and T.J. McConnell with 8 off the bench.
That's it. I thought he had more than that.
He only played 11 minutes.
I thought he had more than 8. I thought he had like 12.
He's been all over the place. So it looks like he's been scoring 20 points and 8 rebounds and 9 assists. But what it is, it's that pestilence that like being like a gnat in the face of someone like, you know, Oklahoma City, and that's what he's doing. He's, you know, getting on the floor, getting loose balls, getting offensive boards, you know, passing to the right player for the 3, and he's that, I don't want to say unsung hero, but he's at that level to where you have to have what Shaq used to call the others.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the others
Yeah.
to win a championship. And remember, the Lakers had, their group called the bench mob, where their bench would come and just wreak havoc those championship teams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
they wouldn't score a lot of points. They would keep it to where they won't get blown out when Kobe and Shaq was on the bench, but at the same time they was diving after loose balls, put back dunks, offensive boards, all the dirty work, that the bench is supposed to do. And this is what TJ McCollum is doing. This is what Obi Toppin is doing for the Pacers. And you got to give them a lot of credit here because they're at home, but at the same time, it's elimination. Your star player, your leader is injured. You think they're going to come in limping, tired, and ready to lay down, and they haven't. So, you got to give them a lot of credit. And the problem is, what's going on in Oklahoma City? Is the pressure too bright? Is the deer in the headlights? It looks to me that way because they were up in the first quarter by 8, and it looked like they were going to cruise, and it was just turnovers and the Pacers were getting to the line. It seemed like the refs were kind of on the Pacers side since they're at home, and it evened itself out as far as the calls, but Oklahoma City just can't seem to get it going that first half. I mean, do you think they can possibly get it going in the second half?
Possibly, but SGA is not a. He's not a 3-point shooter like that. He's gonna come down, pow, pow. He's not Steph Curry. He's not James Harden to a lesser extent. He's not that. But they can do it. But they need Indiana to collapse a little bit because the way that OKC is playing right now is they're not going to be able to overcome this 22-point lead. If Indiana collapsed a little bit, and it could work in their favor. But I just don't see that happening. Not at all, because Indiana doesn't collapse. Other teams collapse against them. So it's more so, hey, let's look for Game 7 on Sunday and the draft on Wednesday.
Right, and moving on to that, the draft.
Yeah.
There's a player who was his name Bailey.
Ace Bailey out of Rutgers.
Out of Rutgers should be the number 3 overall pick.
Should be.
Maybe number 2, and it looks like he may slide like a SHEDDEUR Sanders for what? He canceled a workout with your 76ers.
Yeah.
And what is the issue with that? Because I don't know, maybe it's a scheduling problem or whatever.
No,
but
I read the story real quick. The Sixers aren't the only one that he did it with. He did it with other teams as well. And his representatives are saying they're letting his game in college speak for itself, and so on and so forth. So, that's cool and all, because if Philly drafts him, they're going to draft him. Because I looked at some of his highlights. I mean, he nice. Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize he was 6 feet 10 inches. He's a 6 foot 10 inch guard. Has good ball handling skills. I know somebody told me once how they work out the last time they drafted a 6'10" guard.
Right.
But this guy actually shoots the ball. I mean, you see him hitting threes and hitting long jump shots, and he plays defense. So I wouldn't mind if Philly drafted that guy because Cooper Flagg's going number 1, and I believe they said the guy from Auburn is more than likely going to go number 2 to the Spurs.
Well, the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to look right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 players from Rutgers. Dylan Harper.
Okay.
He's actually the player, the number that's the second.
Oh,
best.
Okay.
That's number 2. He's also a guard, and he's 6'6".
Mm.
Yeah, Ace Bailey, 6'10". The thing is, I I'll be shocked if he goes lower than, I would say 5, Ace Bailey, because the 76ers do need another guard.
Yeah.
And they need someone because of Paul George. He's so injury prone. You do need someone to come in for him at times, and that 6'10" rebounder, can run the floor. He'll be the 2 since you got Tyrese, Maxey in there at the 1. Yeah, I will see the 76ers getting him. The thing is, it is a weird thing because of the Shedeur Sanders situation, that when the teams wanted to speak to him, he didn't want to speak to them. And I know Dion had a lot to do with it, but when your agent is saying, his college game speaks for itself, this isn't college. He's not being drafted to another college team or to another college league. He's drafted to the NBA. We got to see what you work, how you can process, film and the calls and the pace of the game and things of that, because that's a totally different pace. And also the longevity of the league. I mean, a lot of players burn out in that first couple of seasons because of it's 82 games and not, well, how many games? 35 games in college basketball.
Round about that, about 35.
Right? This is 82 games.
Yeah, but back to
backs, right? And you're not just going back to backs, and then you're going back to backs and then flying across country to do 3-4 more games, and then flying back across country again. So the teams need to know how you are in person, and it's not a good look. I don't think Cooper Flag is saying he's not going to do a workout with Dallas Mavericks. If I see that, then that's something going on with all of these young players.
Yeah, well, everybody knows Dallas is going to draft Cooper Flag, so that I wouldn't be surprised if that's the only team he worked out for, because everybody knows that's going to happen. It's kind of a toss up after that how it's going to go. Daryl Morey, he drafted Tyrese Maxey without working him out, and he also did Jared something. Forget the guy's last name. He still plays with the Sixers. Daryl Morey also drafted him without working him out. So it's a history there. So I think Daryl Morey will be like, oh, you know what? I like Ace Bailey. We're going to take him, no matter what. And just take him and then work him out in the preseason and figure it out, because I mean I saw the film. I mean, you can't teach 6'10", and he can handle the rock, and he can rebound, he can defend, he can block shots. He's not much of a point guard. He's not like that. That's what Ben Simmons has over him is the point guard aspect and probably a better defender. But I'm the type of guy that's like, yo, if he's there and he's the best available player, take him. Don't try to try to be the smartest person in the room. That's what Harry Roseman used to try to do when he drafted Jalen Reagor and Justin Jefferson was there. He was trying to be the smartest person in the room, and it backfired. So just take the best player available. And if it's Ace Bailey, draft him.
Yeah, I think this draft, you got to get the best player available.
Yeah.
And it's not a great draft. You don't see a lot of foreign players. Needs a couple French players, but it's really the Cooper Flag draft.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
This ain't the '84 draft. This ain't the '96 draft.
Exactly.
I mean, those two drafts were iconic. I mean, it was Hall of Famers all over the place in those drafts. So it's not that. Allen Iverson's not walking through that door. Kobe Bryant is not getting drafted by the Hornets and then traded to the Lakers. It's not that. It's not that draft right now.
Right. And it looks like Oklahoma City's waving the white flag here it's about to be up 30. So we're gonna see a game 7.
Okay. They literally packed it in at that point. It was like,
Yeah, we're gonna see the same game 7. It's almost 30 points right now.
yeah.
And matter of fact, I mean, Oklahoma City should be the favorite for game 7, which is Sunday.
Who knows, man?
Can you see them closing out on game 7?
I can see Indiana win. Indiana has one on their floor. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I mean, neither one of these teams would. I had OKC winning it, but I could see Indiana pulling it out. I mean, I can really see that. I mean, like when you have a chance to eliminate the team, eliminate the team.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you keep them lingering, and
Yeah.
you're gonna lose that way.
yeah,
So.
that's how you get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it locked right here. Is to keep 1 million show.
Yes, sir. Oh man.
Serving the East Valley on 90.7 FM and the rest of our community online and our website. Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com. KRDP features a mix of R&B, jazz, soul, gospel, and locally
So I
produced
think next
programming
time
from the Valley community.
we should broadcast. We should broadcast from Juneteenth celebration, remote broadcast.
That'd be dope, yeah.
You can donate right now.
We should do that, man. It's a lot of businesses up in there, man.
Listen,
You get advertising
KRDP.
opportunities for these
Click
local
on the donate
businesses.
button.
Right.
Your financial support is greatly appreciated. One way listeners like you can support KRDP is by becoming a volunteer. KRDP is looking for volunteers to assist with activities like fundraising.
You ever see the movie Smile?
Promotions.
What's that?
community
You ever see a
outreach.
movie
We
called
need you.
Smile?
For more
Smile?
information,
Yeah, it's like a horror
become
movie.
a KRDP volunteer. Call 602
It's this,
6636 or visit our website.
Psychological thriller
Listen,
horror joint. It's
KRDP.com,
pretty good.
and click on
First
the
one and the
volunteer
second
button
one.
on the top of the menu. We look forward to seeing you soon at KRDP.
Let's keep 1 million show, Dwayne.
Sean Pay.
It is we're on KRDP and in the WNBA
Ooh.
you have, Caitlin Clark
Mm-hmm.
back from injury, and yeah, she's like lighting it on fire.
Balling.
But the thing is, she's getting I wouldn't say hate, but she's getting roughed up.
Well, she was getting roughed up. She was getting roughed up last year. This year, she's giving it back a little bit. You see her throwing her little elbows and things of that nature. This last incident with the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah.
This is the interesting thing. It was all white girls.
Yeah.
The only black girl that was there was the girl Charles, because Caitlyn had got hit, and she pushed, and she pushed the player, right, and the girl Charles came up and was wagging her finger to her. It's like, hey, don't do that. You pretty much telling her she's not built like that. They don't do that. And there was another player who happened to be white that came and pushed Caitlyn to the ground. So the mix-up was all white girls, and it really got heated when what's it? Sophie Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
The one girl, she had a fast break period, and Sophie Cunningham grabbed her, a hard foul grabbed her, but what she did was she hooked her head and like dragged her to the ground and everything. And the game, it was only about like 5 seconds left of the game, and it was a blowout. And but I believe that Sophie was setting the precedent, letting the league know, like, look, you're not gonna do that to Caitlyn this season. This is what we're doing. And Sophie is like I'm not gonna say she's a goon. She's an enforcer because she could play. She could bring the ball up. She could hit the jump shot. She could set screen. She could play. She's a solid player, but she's also really strong. And I watched somebody's video. They said, yeah, she's a fourth degree black belt in karate. So these girls these women not gonna want to fight her and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, nobody really wants to fight, to tell you the truth. But I will say this, that Caitlin Clark is playing MVP basketball. I believe she's going to win the MVP this year. And the Indiana Fever, they're going to be one of the 4 final teams in the WNBA, and they can mess around and win a championship. I mean, they're a really good team. They're really solid. So I can't say the same for the Chicago Sky. Chicago Sky is really bad. They're in like total rebuilding mode. No. Yeah, Caitlin's doing her thing.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
What about the Chicago Sky?
No, about Indiana Fever. They're not going to win the championship.
Oh, they're not. I said they. I can see them winning it. I can see them doing it, but
I'm looking at the standings right now,
mm-hmm.
and you got Minnesota and New York.
Mm-hmm. The Fever just beat New York too.
Yeah, and Minnesota, New York, the Mercury, all 3 of those had double-digit wins.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's 11-1. Atlanta's right there.
Atlanta's really good.
And right now, Indiana's 6-5.
Hey, you know who else is surprisingly good? The Valkyrie. That expansion team, they're surprisingly good. But you are correct. New York, Atlanta, Minnesota. Nafisa Collier is balling. She's straight up balling. And that's another MVP.
How many
MVP
teams get
candidate.
into the playoffs in WNBA? 8 teams?
I might change it because they added those expansion teams now.
Well, it's just Golden State. It's just one team.
Oh, they only added one. Oh, my bad.
The next year is going to be another team.
Okay. I believe it's 8, and I want to say they have the East and the West now, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So it's 8 teams. So it'll be 4 teams from the East and 4 teams from the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Now, what I'm looking at is Indiana may win the Commissioner's Cup. They're on the top of that.
Yes, they are.
Standings 4-1 in that.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Governor's Cup.
Yeah, the Governor's Cup, whatever. Oh, it's Commissioner's Cup.
Oh, it's Commissioner's Cup. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they clinched that. So it looks like them and Minnesota. I guess everyone else is eliminated. Yeah.
Yeah, they play Minnesota, yes.
Yeah, so they can probably win that. But I think that'd be it.
Oh, okay.
Me personally, I think that'd be it. So how does that go? Like, when do they play them for that?
I have no idea. I just know they play, but I have no idea how they're doing it.
Yeah.
But I do know this, like this Euro League thing is coming up, and some Euro Championship. So the European players they're gonna be going back overseas. So that's gonna hurt a lot of these teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot of these teams. So that's gonna be interesting why those players are gone, and then they'll come back. I believe in about 2 weeks or something like that. About 2 weeks they come back.
Yeah, they're playing right now. They're up 10 against the Valkyries.
Oh,
Indiana,
okay.
Yeah. And in other news, we didn't talk about Aaron Rodgers going
to the Steelers.
And he gets a 1-year deal, veterans minimum. How do you see that playing out in that division, actually? Because we also have Jair Alexander going to the Ravens, the cornerback, Pro Bowl cornerback from the Packers. And that is, I think, a clear I would say, answer to Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. You know, the Ravens just basically cementing, hey, we're the best in this division. Who cares about Aaron Rodgers? I mean, you have people talking about Aaron Rodgers. You got Myles Garrett saying he's ready to put him in the dirt. You know, I mean, you know how this division is, the AFC North. I mean,
they eat their own, boy.
Hate each other,
They
so,
hate each other, yeah.
You know, how do you think this is going to play out?
Ooh. I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans that don't like this, that didn't like the signing. Real good friend of mine, one of my frat brothers. He said the best. He said he believed that that the Steelers should have blew it up. Just traded T.J. Watt, got some draft picks, and just blew it up and start all over. And I said, tank it and see if you can get Arch Manning next year. Because what they do is they make the playoffs every year, losing the first round, so they never really get a real good draft pick, a real high draft pick. So, I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to do well. They'll probably get to the playoffs. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Do you see them beating Baltimore like that? They're beating Kansas City, Buffalo. Shoot, even they beat Denver last season, but even Denver's gotten better. I mean, so you got who else? San Diego, even in your own division. Let's talk about Cincinnati. Cincinnati defense needs to be worked on, but let's talk about them. Talk about Cleveland. That division, you literally got to give all of them. Like when you do their schedule, you say what games they can win, what games they can lose. You have to split it. Each team like go 1-1. Like with Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Baltimore. Because I mean you can sweep your opponents, but that's such a tough division. Even if Cleveland is bad, they still can beat you because they get up to play you. So I think they could have did without Aaron Rodgers. I was like roll the dice for Mason Rudolph. When they didn't draft SHEDDEUR, I was like, just roll the dice for Mason Rudolph. Don't worry about that. But hey, they gave him a 1-year contract.
Right.
So who knows?
And speaking of SHEDDEUR, what is this whole obsession with him? He had 2 speeding tickets this past month. He's driving quite recklessly, going 100 miles an hour. I guess he missed the court date. Yeah. But is it, to me, I think it's much ado about nothing. I think it's just people trying to just poke at him, because he's basically saying he's won the job as a starting quarterback. They may still put Flacco in, but he's the better quarterback of all of them. Yeah. I mean, is this just, okay, they got to poke at him at least, whatever, he has to be perfect person for people could at least give him a recognition.
Believe it or not, he's a high profile backup quarterback. I mean, man, he doesn't need to be speeding, slow down, but like you said, it's much ado about nothing. I mean, missing the court case, missing the court thing, it's bad, but it's a speeding ticket. That means he's just going to have to pay the fine. I think it's like a $296 fine. Right. I think he can afford that.
Exactly.
So you just pay that off. I mean, what's the point of going to court when you know you was guilty? I mean, just pay. Well, for that type of thing, just pay it. Hey, and when I was in the military, I had a first sergeant. He one of my troops got in trouble. It wasn't speeding. It was it was speeding. It was, but this is what he used to do. He said, "Hey, stick your hands out." You stick your hands out. He'll slap your hands like, "Yo, man, stop speeding," and then he just tell you to go away. He wouldn't make us get in trouble for that. he just would say stop speeding, you know, like don't get tickets and stuff like that, you know, because he had more important things to do. So SHEDDEUR and everybody else has more important things to do to worry about. Now I do want him to stop speeding because it's dangerous, because I don't want him to get hurt or hurt somebody. You know, like his dad had talked to him. Let his dad talk to him, get it together, go out. He's not going to start the first few games, but he's going to be the starting quarterback sometime this season.
Oh yeah. He's definitely going to be the starting quarterback.
Yes, he will be.
And, you know, to me, it just seems like it's moving the goalpost.
Mm.
So everything he does is going to be scrutinized.
Well, yeah, he's under a microscope. Yeah, under a microscope.
You know, you have players that do a whole lot worse things, and for some reason, I guess it's I know it's a slow news week, very slow news week. It's a summer. And everyone's itching for the NFL, but come on now, come on.
Yeah, 101 and 96, man. That's a good QBR right there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, let's see him match that.
Right. And one last thing is really big news: the fact that the Lakers, and I was reading this last thing from Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, that the Lakers sold majority stakes to, I forget his name, Walton, who actually owns the Dodgers, for $10 billion. And he was more than the Dodgers. The Dodgers, he was a plethora of teams. And it's a TWC company, a global company.
Isn't Magic Johnson part of that too?
Yes, he actually is.
Yeah,
he actually is. I'm not sure if he's part of this sale, but he's part of the Dodgers.
Yeah,
and the Sparks. So it's the Lakers and the stadium for $10 billion.
Oh, does that include the Sparks?
No, he already owns the Sparks.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's actually the Lakers and the Kings. Because I think the Buss family owns the Lakers and the Kings and the stadium. Dr. Buss, the dad, had purchased the Lakers for $67 million, excuse me, $67 million in 1979. They've won 11 championships then. At least 5 Hall of Famers. And this is the biggest sale in sports history. $10 billion. Now remember, the Celtics just sold their majority shares to one of those hedge fund guys for $6 billion. But this $10 billion is even higher than some of those Saudi soccer teams that are worth billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Is this a great thing for the NBA, or kind of a bittersweet, because of this is most likely one of the, besides baseball teams, this is one of the last mom and pop franchises, I would say, in the NBA. Most of them now are sold by, they're bought and sold by these big hedge fund companies. Now, we're going to go to break. I want you to think about that and come back on the other side with your answer. This is the Keep 1 Million Show on KRDP 90.7 FM. Keep it locked right here.
Yes, sir. It's a good question.
Oh. What's going on, Steve?
It's a good question.
Ooh. I need to see too. It's over. It's over. back to Key 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean P.
90.7 FM, KRDP. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for watching on our social media platforms. Please like, share, subscribe to all our social media platforms. And my question to you is this a great thing for basketball, this sale of the Lakers, or is it, say, bittersweet because of you're losing the mom and pop aspect of sports?
I'll say bittersweet. I always I like the family aspect when the family owned the team. You know, you had got the Rooneys, got the Jones boys down in Texas. You know, even the Khans down in Jacksonville, because his son owns AEW, the wrestling company. You know, so even that, you know, I always like to see the family owning it rather than Walmart Walmart owns it, you know, or something like that.
Right. Well, that's with the Broncos. And yeah, they own other teams, I think, as well. So,
you know, as far as as far as those families selling it, hey, get your money, go get your bread. $10 billion, because I don't know how many bus kids there are. I know it's Jeannie and her brother and.
Right. Well, I just read, and that's what I was reading right before we started the segment. It's 6 siblings, and they have to vote. So back in 2017, this actually came up. Probably, I think the same guy, who he actually had bought a minority stake in the Lakers, and they were trying to force Jeannie. Remember, they were trying to force Jeannie out, right? But they couldn't. They voted, and she stayed. But now they voted. And Jeannie voted to sell the team. They all voted. I mean, $10 billion. Come on, $10 billion.
A lot of money.
She is still going to be the governing, governor of the team. She's still going to run day-to-day operations, just like is in Dallas, where those big casino owners bought the Dallas Mavericks from Mark Cuban. But Mark Cuban is still the day-to-day operations, manager, CEO per se.
To a certain extent, because he said he didn't. Did he see the Luka trade?
You're right.
I believe he got involved. Yeah, he wasn't involved with that. He got blindsided about it.
Yeah,
because he said he wouldn't have signed off on that.
No, exactly, he wouldn't have. And the thing is, this looks like a great deal for the players. Because they're gonna get, could get their max deals and everything like that. But in this, how the NBA is constructed now, the new CBA, they can't, the luxury tax and everything is really strict, so they could lose draft picks and things of that nature, and be rejected on trades because of the luxury tax. But they can spend other ways, right? Renovation of stadiums, training facilities, scouting, more staff. And they say, when I was listening to the radio about this, they were saying that the Dodgers have the biggest staff in all of sports. The analytics staff is crazy, the coaching staff and all that. And if you see, the Dodgers, they got 2 championships in 5 years.
Yeah.
Just beat the Yankees. And could this happen for the Lakers? It could, possibly. We're gonna find out in this next season, next couple seasons. And also, what would this mean for LeBron? They say maybe 2 seasons, maybe 3. Does he stay a little longer? Does he cut it short with retiring maybe next season? I mean, how do you think that's going to play out?
I've been saying, what's it, 2025? I've been saying since 2023. I said he had 3 more seasons left in him. So he's coming up on 3 right now.
Yeah.
2026. But he can still play. It's not like he can't play anymore. I mean, he put up MVP numbers last year. You were like, wow, this dude. Like, so I just don't want to see him. He's such a great player. I don't want to see him go out getting carried off the court, limping off the court because he totally blew his knee or something like that. God forbid that happens. But I just don't want to see that, or he, because he's an older dude. So those type of injuries, older people don't come back from, very easily. So I don't want to see that. I would love to see him go. I know he would love to go out a champion, but it doesn't look like that. That's going to happen. At least not right now. I don't know what this leadership going to do with the roster or anything, but I just want him to go out with his head up and everything, not with no injuries.
Right.
You know, so but who am I to tell that man what to do? You know, he's a billionaire for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, it's gonna be Game 7.
Oh yeah, come on,
Pacers blowing out Oklahoma City.
At halftime, I said that. I was like, those guys, they literally like they. I believe they left their heart in OKC. They just left their heart in OKC. It's like
right. Couple last things. With all this Knicks trying to poach coaches, and they fired, Tom Thibodeau.
I don't think they should have fired Tibbs, man.
No, man, it's looking horrible right now. You know.
Hey, that's like quitting a job and you don't have another job lined up.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. And they've been denied by at least 6 teams to talk to their coaches.
I know they were denied by Houston.
Right. Bring that up. Ime Udoka, they doubled down, tripled down, and gave him one of the highest contracts in the NBA. They extended him.
Extended him out. He ain't going nowhere.
Right. And
who else turned him down? I know Jay Wright said he wasn't interested.
Yep.
Jeff Van Gundy, the way he left before, I knew he wasn't going to do it.
It was Chicago's coach, Billy Donovan. It was Minnesota's coach. It was so many different coaches.
What about
the Jason Kidd?
Oh, J.K. I forgot about that.
Dallas, of course. I mean, I would never thought Dallas would let him go. Just right now, what's going on with Dallas? We could get Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis.
Why would he leave that?
Exactly. So many different coaches. The Connecticut coach,
Hurley.
And the thing's going to be bad is the fact that when they hire a coach, he's going to know he was their last choice. You asked all these different coaches, and now you just decide, all right, we might as well go with him.
What about No, they didn't talk to Mark Jackson, did they?
No. No, they did not.
Mark Jackson from Queens.
Yes, I know. That's Nick. I know.
Went to St. John's. Got drafted by the Knicks.
Yes.
New York. New York.
I know.
It makes sense, man. Yeah. You can't write a better story. James Dolan. You can't write a better story. World Wide West. Right. Leon Rose. Leon Rose. Come on, man. Leon Rose didn't even do a press conference.
Right. They didn't call Mike Brown. They didn't. I mean, it's weird. It's so crazy. They didn't call Mike Brown, huh? No. Well, he's with the. No, he's with Sacramento right now.
No, he's still coaching Sacramento.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I thought he
did get fired.
I thought he got fired.
No, he might have. Yeah, interesting. So.
Well, did they talk to Mike Malone?
No, they haven't. We'll see.
What about the dude from Memphis? They talk to him?
No.
All right. The one that got fired.
You're right, the one that got fired. I mean, you got a couple coaches out there. And I was going for Mike Malone off top. I was like, that's what people were talking about before the playoffs started, was that if they don't make it far enough, they'll fire Tibbs and hire Malone, who was a New Yorker. He was on one of the, I think, Jeff Van Gundy staff back in the day with Tibbs and all of them. So we'll see, but
we shall see.
It's a horrible situation to be a Knicks fan right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one last thing I was looking at,
Mm-hmm.
I know we've seen on the news about the ICE raids in Los Angeles and everything like that, and something I think is pretty strange is the fact that federal agents were trying to camp outside of Dodger Stadium. And the Los Angeles Dodgers said they denied the federal agents access to their parking lot. There was plans to unveil initiatives to assist local immigration communities. Quote, because of the events earlier today, we continue to work with groups that were involved with our programs, Dodgers president Stan Kasten said, but we are going to have to delay today's announcement while we firm up some more details. We'll get back to you soon with the timing. Caravans of white unmarked vans and SUVs arrived to gate 8 entrance of Dodger Stadium, Van Scully Avenue around 8 a.m., saying they had detainees to process, according to media reports. The security guard on hand told the agents they were not allowed on private property, prompting federal officials to circle outside to gate E and downtown facing the entrance. Wow, this is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would think that a federal government agency would not be allowed at a private facility like, say, Dodger Stadium, but for them to kind of keep going, that's what do you think about that? That's kind of weird.
You said to keep it. Oh, to keep the.
They keep trying. You know what I mean? They're still trying to get into Dodger Stadium, or hold people at Dodger Stadium, because every ballpark has a little, like a mini jail.
Yeah.
This is very this is weird. What do you think about this?
It's a sad case of events, man.
Right.
I mean, man, this is where sports and politics mix at a level where I don't want to see it mix.
Yeah.
I know it's going to mix sometimes, but I don't like this look. You want to use the stadium to jail people. I'm like, oh man, and a lot of the Dodger fan base, I'm not gonna say all of it, but a lot of the Dodgers fan base is Mexicans. Like are Latinos. I shouldn't just say Mexicans, but Latinos. It's just. It's not a good look, right? It's just not a good look.
That's just crazy.
It's
I mean,
pretty
you've
crazy.
seen all over the news what was going on in LA.
Yeah.
All the protesting and violence and whatnot. But just seeing that article was like, what is going on? Y'all really want to try to, I guess, shut down a whole parking lot of a baseball stadium for your own? Like commandeer it? Is that what it's like?
Yeah.
It's really crazy. I mean, I'm shocked they tried to do that.
Really crazy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, because I'm a history nerd. It's like the army's going in. The army's going in, and telling you, hey, we need you. You have to get out your house. We need your house as a base. I have to look for more information. I don't believe you can do that anymore. But they did act. They asked. They didn't try to just take it over. They requested and they got denied. So I mean, it's and that's not a public place. That's a private business. It's a private property. So.
Right, and that's very interesting. One is going to end up in court.
Mm-hmm.
that most likely can end up in court, unless the feds just kind of shut it down and go away. But we see it may not. So yeah, I gotta keep our eye on that, because maybe that happens here.
Maybe.
Who
knows?
ICE agents trying to shut down Diamondback Stadium or something like that, or whatever. So yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Any last things before we go?
Nah, just these are the slow days of sports, y'all. So be prepared to hear us talk about like what's the toughest Hall of Fame to get into and stuff like that. Because these days are limited. You only could talk about baseball for so long. So after Game 7 on Sunday, it's pretty much mini camp baseball and interesting conversations.
Exactly. Well, a few weeks ago I was talking about the Diddy trial.
Oh yeah, Diddy trial.
And that's getting crazy.
Yeah, I have to
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I have to get with Lauren LaRosa. I listened to her breakdown, because she's there the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she taking her notes and everything. So
there's another show, Crime and News and Crime, or Law and Crime or something, with a bunch of lawyers on YouTube talking about it, with correspondence there. It's really good. Yeah, so we'll definitely get into that more. I talked about it a few weeks ago. So
and next Thursday there will be a new NBA champion crowned.
Yeah, there will be.
We shall see if Indiana or OKC get their first chip.
Yep, and it's definitely going to be a Game 7.
I can't call it, y'all. I don't know who's going to win it.
Definitely going to be a Game 7.
Because both of them have won on each other's home court.
Right.
So
right.
I can't call it.
And with that being said, keep 1 minute, so we'll be right back. That's the next hour. Keep it locked right here, 90.7 FM, KRDP.
Yes, sir.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views